Okay, this is the first code video for the Python knockdown. Now, since it's been a while probably since you've done anything, let's review. If you look at the GoPyGo, you can see that it is alive and kicking, and it has the little actually it was green and now it's blue because it's connected. And what you really have to do is make sure that you go up and you get the proper Wi-Fi, which in my case is CMN00, and then you go to a browser and you pick up the browser and you do 10 10 10 10, and then you should be able to get to the Python, and that's where we are here. So I'll make this full screen, and what you need to do is to make sure that you have this thing called Python Avoid 03. Now, if you don't have this to start with, then there's no point continuing, so make sure that you get here. And this is the avoid code in Python. Now, some of you just did it in Blockster, so I will go through it, but let's just take a look at how it works. You have to click each one of these cells with this little arrow up here, and then this will make it work. And as you can see, the wheels are moving forward, and when it runs into something, it stops, blinks, and they see the wheels turn. It turns in a random direction after backing up, and then this keeps going, and we do it again, and this just goes on for however long it takes for the time until the time runs out. And I believe we set it at 30 seconds, and so it's now over. Okay, so this is the code that runs, and let's just take a look at the logic. First of all, the way we do it is come down here to the third cell in this notebook, and we set run equal true. While run is true, it goes through all this code. Now, this first part is just to see how much time is elapsing, and we input a variable at the beginning called time max, and when the elapsed time, which is the difference between the time when we started and the time right now, we then set run to false. And when we set run to false, then this while loop ends. But while it's still going on, we look and see if the distance sensor is greater than 5, we then go forward. Otherwise, we stop, flash lights, back up, do a random turn, and this just goes on and on and on until time runs out. Then we stop and print time expired, which happens to be 30.12, and so forth and so on. Now, at the above this, the main program here, which is where you'll spend most of your time, we have a bunch of functions. And these were the functions that do the various things that we want to do. And in front of that is where we import and set some of our variables. And remember, we import the EasyGoPyGo as E, we import time as T, and we import random as R. Now, that means that these letters, E, T, and R, are always going to refer to these libraries. And then the next thing you always do is make your objects, and G will refer to the GoPyGo. And remember, this is not like Scratch. We just have one object, really. Well, we have two. We have the distance sensor, but we do not have a bunch of sprites. We just have one. And the way you invoke it, or instantiate it is the proper word, we do E, which is from this library, dot, and then we type EasyGoPyGo3. Now, you have to spell it exactly like this, and you have to have the parentheses, and that picks up that library, those routines that are actually in this library, because there are other things such as sensors. Anyway, the D is the distance sensor, and here's how you instantiate it. It has this special code, and this is the I2C, which refers to the port that is on the red Dexter Industries block that's on the top of your GoPyGo. And we set some variables, time 0, time max, and then we have a thing called waitSec that we can use in there instead of putting the number in. Okay, so this is how it's all set up, and let's stop this video, and we will then go on to modifying this to do what we had talked about before, which is knock down or not knock down a pin.